Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Wight Noise podcast. With me is my co-host, Ethan.
Top of the morning to you.
And my good social media manager, Aaron.
I might be a pedophile.
Oh.
And I'm your host, AJ.
Why would you do that to me?
All right, yeah.
Out of context, out of all the context, it sounds so much worse than it actually is.
And my favorite thing is I was sitting here, I was like, oh, he even introduces himself first, too. He's like, I'm Ethan. And then after that, I'll be like, I might be a pedophile.
Wow.
I thought of that during church.
What an odd time to think about.
You thought
something
about
like
you
that.
thought about the clip that you have of me saying I might be a pedophile.
Yeah.
So can I get something off my chest real quick about this whole Okay, so today I went to Walmart.
We didn't agree to that.
Huh? Well, too bad, because you're gonna have to deal with it. All right.
Because you're the host.
Yes, because I'm the host. I have host privileges. I have host powers here. Okay. So you're gonna have to deal with it. So
I want to kick him out of the Discord right now.
stop it. I will still talk because it'll be recorded on Audacity. So I will still
Fine,
talk.
True.
You can
Tell
edit.
my
You can
whole
edit and
story.
upload your own podcast. And
Okay. So
Get offload your fat chest.
all right.
offload.
Offload. Yep.
Okay. So
All right.
today I went to Walmart to get tubs to fill up for so that I can get ready for moving things due to potential moving that's happened. I've mentioned this before, right? Like this isn't like that bit's not new knowledge
Remember.
to the podcast because I feel like we did.
I don't remember at all.
AJ and I are taking our relationship to the next level.
Oh yeah, you know it. Because that's what good men do, you know.
So what's hilarious about that is when I mentioned to my sister that there was a possibility that you and I would move in together at some point.
And kiss.
Her immediate reaction was, "Do you need help telling mom and dad?" That was her first response.
That's funny.
It's good comedy.
Yeah. So, anyways, when I went to Walmart, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go look for like snacks and stuff because that's always a fun thing to do, you know. Because to me, I don't think Walmart's the place where you go and get like actual food.
What?
Like, because we have HEB here. Because HEB exists, and HEB is where you go to get actual food around here.
We don't have that down there.
Oh, I know.
Okay.
So all we have
okay.
is Walmart and Kroger.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's not true. That's not true. Well, I will admit that my past few weeks that I was in Hattiesburg at university, I did start going to like an actual grocery store that was a little bit farther away than Walmart because I used to just go to Walmart to get everything.
Yeah.
I started going to an actual grocery store because it's just better in every way.
Yeah, it is. Because I treat
I don't have one in Macomb.
I treat Walmart.
Yeah, you do. You have the same one.
What are you talking about? Piggly Wiggly?
No, I forget what it's called. Something Market.
Market? Just the Market?
Nah, it's
called
got
the Market.
It's not called the Market.
It is.
I'm looking it up right now.
It's called the Market.
Well, anyways, I treat Walmart like it's a giant convenience store more than anything else. Like it's just a larger convenience store. So I went and I bought these Starbucks coffees, like the little frozen ones. Like
Macomb Market.
Corner Market is what I'm talking about. Wait, is that what I'm talking about?
No.
Shit. What am I? Go on. AJ.
like these cold, like refrigerate, like you just keep them cold. They're cold coffees, like that you can just have.
Yeah.
And they come in like the glass or whatever.
Yeah, like the glass square-ish bottles.
Yeah, they don't.
Yeah. With
So
the
I
metal
took
twist-off
coffee.
caps.
I took the coffee kind. It doesn't taste like coffee.
No.
Why doesn't it taste like coffee, Aaron?
All right. Okay. Can I... This leads me on to a subtopic.
Yeah, go ahead.
Of people going, this is how you use a product. This is how it's meant to be used. When they just find a different use for it, ticks me off a lot. So there's videos of people going, is it like the Starbucks Frappuccino thingies?
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Yeah. She was like, you're supposed to put that in a blender with some ice. And then you blend it up and you pour it in there. And that's why it's called Frappuccino.
No.
No. No, it's not, because they wouldn't sell it at a gas station.
And they
Quarter
wouldn't
market
sell
was
it
correct.
in
If that's what
a
you would
glass
do.
bottle. Like, no.
And it just ticks me off. But they're just, do you know how much sugar is in that? 60 grams of sugar.
Hang on.
There's so much sugar and carbs in those things, dude. I hate them. They're so nasty. They hurt my feelings. They don't taste like coffee. It's just like, it's like coffee flavored chalky milk.
Fake news. Oh, never mind. Wait, why do they do that? Wait, okay, so total sugars is 33 grams, but then in like parentheses, it includes 23 grams added sugars.
It's probably no. That's probably for half the bottle. Because I promise you, the glass bottles, like the full size glass bottles,
No,
have like 60
size
grams
one
of
bottle.
sugar.
But see, that's the thing, is it says 33 grams, and then it says it includes 23 grams. So, it's 56.
Let me see. I hate them. Anyway, go. Is that where you were going? Was just that they're awful for you?
Yeah,
And-
like it didn't taste, because I was like, oh, you know what? It's cold coffee. You know what? That's nice, because
it's not coffee.
whenever you have cold coffee, it tastes amazing. Like, cold coffee
No.
tastes good.
False.
I'm not saying, like, you get coffee that you're supposed to heat up normally.
No, I know what you're talking about. Iced
And then you
coffee.
mix it.
It's shit.
Yeah. No.
Your shit.
Yeah.
No, it's weird.
What's weird about
weird
it?
about
It's a taste that's supposed to be hot. I can't explain it. It's a preference thing. I know, but it's like I taste it and it's cold, but it tastes like coffee and it's cognitive dissonance and it makes me want to crawl in a hole.
You know, you admitted that it's
Was
a
the one
preference
that
thing.
I gave you the same thing?
Yeah. No, like it's okay, but
You just don't like it.
it's just weird because it tastes like coffee and it tastes like good coffee, and my brain's like, coffee taste, but then my tongue is like, this shit's cold though, and it's weird.
What are you doing right
And
now,
it's-
AJ?
and it's a-
Whatever
That's
that
the
noise was.
lid.
What was that?
That's the lid
The lid.
to the glass.
The lid.
See?
Oh,
Yeah.
my phone's still on vibrate. That's
Oh,
probably
this is some
loud as
ASMR.
dicks.
Keep going. Oh.
You're welcome, audience. You're welcome. So
I keep forgetting that I like when I play Xbox that I'm not talking through this mic. And like yesterday when I was playing with Tavish and you, I kept leaning into this mic to get like closer to give emphasis.
That's
And
great.
it didn't matter.
no. Was he upset at something? Like,
Yesterday?
not related
When
to
is
us?
he not?
No, but like not related to us. Like, was he upset at something that didn't have to do with us?
Again, when is he not?
Okay, because that's what I felt like it was. Like, I felt like what he was going through was like some actual stress.
That's just Tavish nowadays, dude.
Yeah.
I texted him that group picture, the group chat message. I don't remember when it was. We were talking to Tay about something, and I was like, "Don't forget about the boys" or something like that.
Oh, we're talking
I was
about-
like, "We lost."
We're talking about him getting married, having like
Yeah.
commitment. Like committing to his.
Oh, that's what it was.
Because we were talking about we wanted to get together and play some games, and White was like, "I'm not going to be able to until after the wedding, because
He's like, "I can't commit to anything."
yeah, he's like I can't commit to anything until after he gets back from his honeymoon." But we were like, "Oh, so we're never going to get to play games with Tay because then he's going to be married."
Yeah, and I said, and I was like, "We lost a good man on January 4th, 2020, which is when Tavish got married."
Yep.
And I screenshotted that whole conversation between me and you, Ethan, and I sent it to Tavish. And Tavish was like, "I like my life now. But I like you guys. And I wish I could have them both."
Oh my god, that's so fucking sad.
Yeah.
I was just like, that's really sad.
Speaking of sad, AJ.
Are you good at,
Oh no. Oh no.
do I know? I
No,
don't
this
think I know.
literally
No,
happened.
this happened like 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, 5-10 minutes ago.
Well,
yeah.
like,
Can't
right-
wait. Can't wait.
Right before Aaron got home. So
I discovered my stupidity.
I'm gonna tell that. I'm gonna give context to the other comment that you said. So since the last podcast, I don't know if by the time we had the last podcast, I had gotten my dog.
Oh no. I don't
So-
know. This puts me in a
No.
bad. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, no, you're gonna look like a shitty person.
Oh man.
Your turn,
love
bitch. It's always me. I got outed as a potential pedophile like 2 seconds in.
All right.
right.
You know what? This actually doesn't sound too bad. Yeah, go ahead, tell it.
Yeah, in the context of Aaron accused me of pedophilia at the beginning of this, which is fair because I've done it to him on
Well, hey,
podcast.
you know, if you want to know the full context as far as what Ethan was saying, check out the live stream that Aaron did where he played
Or
Minecraft.
just go watch my TikToks.
Or your TikToks,
you do-
or your
yeah.
Instagram.
Yeah, my Instagram, my TikToks, they're all there.
Anyways,
Yeah,
in
go on.
the past month, a stray dog came up to my house, which happens quite
I thought you
often.
said a straight dog, and I was just like, how do you know it wasn't gay?
It's, Good question. I don't. I never asked. But a stray dog showed up at my house, which happens quite often because my house is right next to a church and a fire department, and people will just drop off dogs at the church or at the fire department because they're like, it's a building and people come here, have our dog because we don't want to be responsible for it. Happens a lot of times. And normally we're able to find a home for it. Like we'll keep it for a little bit and we'll take care of it. And then we'll find somebody that we know that'll take it. We had this one dog. She showed up. And she never, like a lot of times they'll wander off. Like they'll just leave because we don't try to, cage them or keep them tied up or anything. Stray dogs. They're strays. Like if they want to wander off, we're not going to try and really fight that,
Yeah.
But they wandered up. We're not going to stop them from wandering away. But this one stuck around. So we were like, okay, we'll feed you and, whatever. This dog stuck around for like 2 months, And at like a month and a half, I was like, all right, you're here. You're a cute little dog. It was like a beagle. It was a female beagle. I was like, I'm going to give you a name. And so our other dog was named Charlotte, and it was my sister's dog. Its name was Charlotte, and is Charlotte. We still have that dog, foreboding. And my sister called Charlotte Charlie, or Swarley, depending. But my dad was like, nah, I can't call a girl dog Charlie, but her full name is Charlotte, so I'm gonna call her
Goodbye,
Lottie,
Charlie.
because Lottie is like a super old school nickname for Charlotte, like old school, like 1860s old school.
Like when your dad was a teenager.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so I was like, all right, dad's into old ass names, so I'm gonna call this dog Hepzibah, which Hepzibah is Hebrew for she in whom I find delight, and I thought it was a really cool name. But a shortening of Hepzibah is Epi. Shout out to my people who have read the novel Silas Marner. You know who you are. So I was
I
like,
really appreciate you speaking in a different language right now.
you're welcome. So I called the dog Epi, and I was like, all right, I named her Epi. I'm gonna take care of her. I'm gonna feed her. Fast forward to like 2 weeks, we have. Are you okay?
Yeah, I just thought a really bad joke, and I can't say it because it would spoil your story.
Yeah.
I'll tell you after.
It was probably similar to the joke that AJ told.
Yeah.
But fast forward like 2 weeks, we have this trap out in our shed that's a rat trap, and it's like a black box, and there's a hole big enough for rats to crawl in, and we keep rat poison in it. Our other dog, Lottie, never fucked with it. Never got into this shit. We get home one day, and we find that Epi has been gnawing on the rat trap, and it's in the front yard. And we're like, well, shit. So we put the rat trap back, and we're like, bad dog, don't chew on the rat trap. And then like 4 days later, she's shitting and throwing up blood. And so, long story short, we had to put Epi down. And it was not a very pleasant experience, even though we only had the dog like 2 months.
Epi got pinned. Epi pin.
This isn't helping me.
So fast forward to 10 minutes ago, AJ sent me a picture that was, It was well, let me scroll up and find it.
Where is it? Is it memes?
I think it is, yeah.
Yeah, it might be.
It is. It says, take a rest. You officially beat the first half of 2020. And it's a picture of a bonfire from Dark Souls. And I said, damn, I could use a bonfire right about now. And AJ said, but when you use a bonfire, it respawns all of the mobs that you killed. And I went, what mobs have I killed in the first half of 2020? And he goes, well, there was that dog.
Ethan admitted to me, and this made me feel even worse. Ethan admitted that he had forgotten all about that dog until
I was not thinking, because I was trying to think, and I was gonna make the joke. I was like, well, I killed my relationship.
Yeah.
I was gonna make that dark joke.
Yeah.
And I had completely forgotten about, the dog that I was responsible for, that I had to put down.
Now,
Yeah, that's. Yeah, you murdered it.
I didn't murder. I did not murder a dog.
no, you didn't.
That's honestly, saying I murdered a dog on the internet is worse than saying I'm a pedophile, which is backwards. It's
It's wild.
It's bass backwards. But I swear to God, if people think that I killed a dog, I'm gonna catch way more heat than if people think I'm a pedophile.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. I mean, what's that one guy's name that killed himself? Jeffrey Epstein. Shout out to Jeffrey Epstein, but fuck Alinity.
Damn.
Seriously, that's pretty much what people get angry about.
Yeah, no. People get super defensive over dogs and cats.
It's like, wow, that guy molested 50 kids. She threw a cat on Twitch?
For real, though.
It's wild. Doesn't make sense.
Oh.
A cat's life is valued over a human life.
Yo, speaking of
But then people won't take their cats to a vet.
Speaking of all of this, did you guys hear about the Twitch drama that's going on right now?
There's a lot of Twitch drama going on right now. I've heard
So-
about some of it.
So there's 3 different kinds of Twitch drama going on right now. You got
The doc drama. I'm here for
Doc-
the doc drama, man.
Doc drama. We got no idea what's going on with Doc. Then you got
Here for
Fed drama. We got no idea. Well, we do know. We do now know why Fed left.
I don't know who Fed is.
Fedmeister, he's a dude who goes to offline TV. Offline TV is the same.
Oh, yeah. He's a sexual assault. He had a bunch of problems.
Yep. At first, we had no idea. And then Pokimane and all of them came out and was like, yeah, no, here's what happened. So that's a thing. And now, the next bit of news that we have going on is Ninja and Felix having a bit of a debate going on. XQC. They were getting into an argument.
Yo, I'm with XQC all the way. I don't care what he said. I'm just with him. I hate Ninja.
And this is exactly what a lot of the Twitch streamers were saying when they were like, you don't mess with XQC in any debate or argument, because no matter what, his audience just will blindly agree with him. Not just because they're like, oh, ew, I hate Ninja, but because his fan base, just as a fan base, is just blindly defensive for him. They'll immediately just go, no, you can't say this to XQC, and then they'll throw hate comments at you and whatever, and just keep you away from XQC as a person. So
XQC seems like, I haven't done any research on him. Seems like a genuinely okay person though. He can't be worse than Ninja.
Here's the thing.
Ninja's a brat.
There's two very different sides of Twitch between XQC and Ninja. They're both the popular end, but
is XQC just super toxic? He seems like a toxic person.
He's loud, and he has that toxic energy to him.
Tyler One.
Kinda, not as single direct set, because whenever Tyler One would get mad at somebody, it was at that person. XQC takes it to it's a larger viewpoint to where so for example, Tyler One would get mad at somebody for doing something stupid, and then get mad at them for doing that one dumb thing. XQC would get mad at somebody for picking a character, or he would get mad at somebody for positioning in a certain way. So he'd hate on every single person that does that, not just the person that he saw do that kind of thing. So he'll make a point of like, man, I hate when everybody does this, or like when these group of people do this kind of thing. So it's a wider range of toxicity, and it's mainly from Overwatch. So
I was about to say that just sounds like when I played Overwatch.
yeah, it's an Overwatch thing. It's definitely.
And to be fair, in all fairness to him, I understand his pain and agony.
Oh yeah,
Because Overwatch is a game that's like, hey, I'm one person on your team. I don't feel like cooperating as well as you guys do. Sorry. You just lose because of that.
well, it's a game that has people that like to play casual, but feel the need to be casual in a competitive area.
Yeah. And they won't play ranked either.
Right.
Because like they didn't make casual play like ranked enough, if
Right.
that makes any sense. Like they didn't make it like try hardy enough.
Right.
But I think they changed that now. They make it where you
Kinda.
have to have heroes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But it was just like if you wanted to play, you pretty much only played rank. Like that's all people did was they played ranked. Nobody really played Overwatch and played quick play. But it does kind of suck. I do understand the pain of people just being like, no, we're like, I think we need a Mercy. No, we really don't. We need a Mei. No, we already have 2 DPS. We don't need another one. I don't really care what you say.
Yeah.
And then the other person has to switch off. The other healer has to switch off and play a solo heal. Well, they may not be as good at that solo heal. So then you're messing that person up. Well, then the main tank may have to switch and play Roadhog to self heal. And then he's not going to do as well. And your front line's not going to have like a big defense like a Shield or Orisa because of that. So you literally, like, one teammate can screw your entire team. Just easily screw them just by not picking a character properly.
And you accuse me of talking in another language.
That's fair. There's 2 games that I know a lot about, and that's Overwatch and Divinity. I learned the other night I knew a lot about Divinity when I went to play it again. I was like, I know way too much about this game.
Yep. But so the entire argument, and this is the reason why I don't like this argument just as a whole, is because it was towards charity streams. So who was it? There was what's the guy's name? Gosh, he's actually decently famous.
Dr. Lupo.
Yeah, thank you.
Wow. That's insane.
He's decent. Yeah. Yeah, it was yeah. Do you not know this actual like drama where you just like shooting out like a
No,
guess?
no, I just dropped the Twitch name.
Bro, that's whack. Bro, that's exactly who it is. So
I just know he does charity streams.
Yeah.
And I know he's friends with Ninja.
Yeah.
So I just assumed.
So he was doing one or whatever. He was doing a charity stream, and I think there was possible speculation of him getting paid for doing a charity stream, and so XQC came on and was like, "See, I'm not gonna get all of this right for the most part, so it's not 100% like a concrete."
We're not Wight Noise News. We're Wight Noise Podcast.
Yeah, we're just
it's okay.
we're just a podcast. So apparently he had said something about XQC had said something about how that's like shady, like, and you shouldn't be just doing charity streams just because you get paid for it. And then Dr. Lupo made a comment about how he like defended himself and was like, hang on, here's like all of like the facts to it or whatever, right? And then XQC's like, okay, well, no matter what, just like as a whole, like I don't even care about your situation. Just people shouldn't be doing charity streams just to get paid for them. And then Ninja's wife decided to get involved, and she started saying some like heated things
Ninja
towards
has
XQC.
a wife?
Yeah, dude, imagine getting fucked by Ninja. And not in Fortnite.
So then
Ninja's wife is hot too, dude.
yo, here's the issue that I had with that entire thing.
I wonder
Like,
if the bandana stays on during sex.
It
It
does.
has to. It does. It does. It does.
If it doesn't, I'm mad about it.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I really hope that he.
Do you think if he
like,
dyed his hair a different color, or if he just went like natural color, she would leave him?
Probably.
Is that why he keeps it blue from now on?
Yeah.
Because there was a time while it was like his marketing, he had it green, wasn't it? Wasn't it
I
green?
don't know. I don't
He
follow
dyed
you.
it. He dyed it some
Go look at. It's like a green like teal color.
Yeah.
Ethan, go look at that link. That's That's like just pictures of Ninja's wife. That sounds really weird. I just typed in her name though in Google and I clicked images.
Oh yeah,
She's super hot comparatively to Ninja.
Jessica Goch.
She was a model.
Yeah.
Fuck.
But she was saying, and here's the issue. Whenever like there's
She's got a
arguments
Joker
online,
smile.
and this is why I hate arguments online, is that it's never like the person's going back to the topic at hand. It just goes, you're an idiot, and then they come back and they're like, you're a bigger idiot, and they're like, no, you're the biggest idiot, and then, like just back and forth like that, and it's so irritating whenever that's
not online. That's not online arguments. That's just arguments.
no. There are some people that will actually sit and have a legitimate argument and it be sensible.
Dude, best argument that I've seen in like recent memory was a discussion between
kilogram.
What? It was
the kilogram. That's what I said.
Oh, but they're both a kilogram.
That's the best argument.
But steel is heavier than feathers.
I just
know.
jumped down a rabbit hole.
But they're both a kilogram. You gave me an excuse to do an accent, Aaron.
I did. You wanted to for the entire podcast. I gave you a reason.
I asked if I could do an Irish accent and I know that's a Scottish one in that video, but like I asked if I could do an Irish accent for the whole video and I got shot down. But
don't worry, man. I'm your wingman here.
It was a discussion between Dr. Jordan Peterson and Russell Brand, and it was actually a very civil discussion, and it was very intellectual, and they both were they both stayed very calm and chill as they had their discussion. Very nice, very mature. Go check it out.
I tried to start a fight on TikTok today. Some chick posted this video. It was like, I'm gonna give you your man's how your man's personality is comparatively to what games he plays. And like everything she listed off, and every time they get one of those videos, there's always like every single thing is bad. Like there's never a good thing, they're never like, oh, well, if he plays this game, he's a super nice individual and a great person and very wholesome. Yeah. No, it's never like that.
If he plays Minecraft, he has a long attention span.
Yeah, this was like, if he plays Call of Duty, he says the N-word all the time and tries to act like BLM on the side, but he gets on Call of Duty and says the N-word for 6 hours a day every day. And I was like, all right, that's odd. Just all of Call of Duty players ever only say that.
That's what we like to call a straw man defense.
And then anybody who plays Counter-Strike Go is a Trump supporter and supports gun rights. And
those are two separate things.
Yeah. And anybody else, there was another game too, like another really popular game. She was like, yeah, if they play that, they also hate BLM. It was like everything was like to that, and she of course had like slits in her eyebrows and like super done up makeup. So I commented, it was like, if your girl has slits in her eyebrows, she's probably offended by anything you say.
Hang on, let me see if he still has them.
Because I was like, and then I also made a second comment that was like, if you play games, you're bad. That's all that she's trying to say. Because there was no good things.
So
at
this
all.
This segues into the topic that I kind of wanted to touch on.
Touch it.
I'm gonna touch it. So
he does. Sorry. Continue.
Who does?
Ludwig has slashes in his eyebrows. Sorry, I just wanted to point that out.
Does?
You said he does, and I was like, we have confirmation that the fucking bandana stays on? Did you look that up?
It does.
Confirmed. It's confirmed.
Confirmed.
Bandana stays on during coitus.
What are you talking about? Who has slits in the eyebrows?
Ludwig. It's a streamer that isn't... I don't know how to explain him.
I don't know who you're talking about, but
Are you
I
talking
should get
about
slits in my eyebrows.
Are you talking about my boy, Ludwig von Beethoven?
Yeah, that
Is it
guy.
Von?
That
Instead of
is the
Von?
most hipster name I've ever heard in my life. Get that out of here.
I mean, he has slits in his eyebrows.
Are
so.
you talking about Ludwig the streamer or Ludwig von Beethoven?
That.
the first one? No,
That's-
Aaron's
that's
talking about the second one. I joked and said, yeah, that one, but I was...
That's Beethoven.
Yeah, it's Beethoven.
Oh.
His first name was, yeah, Ludwig.
You fucking idiot.
Like
I don't know, dude.
the
I don't-
which by
I-
the way,
I-
fun
I
fact,
gave you the
he also has slits in his eyebrows, Aaron.
I believe it.
Beethoven, like actual Beethoven, not the dog.
Not
had
the
slits
dog.
in his eyebrows.
But the dog
I believe
also
it.
has slits in his
100%.
eyebrows.
Does he have slits on his like tail too? Like just like hair snips.
Exactly.
Yeah, like a poodle, kind of.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
but what I wanted to talk about, so it's funny is we have a topics chat where like throughout the week, if we think of something that we want to talk about on the podcast,
Oh crap! Yeah.
we can put it in.
I'm gonna
And-
talk about the milk one later.
Yeah, so I put free thinking versus ideology and how we form our own opinions. It's going to be a deep one. And Aaron said, no.
I just replied no.
You just, you just said no, which I was like, all right, well, I'm definitely talking about this. But
I know exactly what I was doing when I got that. I saw it and I was driving down the road and I was stopped at a stoplight and I looked at that. I was like, no.
No.
I don't want to do that.
So, no, what I wanted to talk about is because everyone's very opinionated. Everyone's always been opinionated. I feel like people exaggerate today. I feel like people will say everyone has so many opinions nowadays and is so stuck to their opinions. Not true. It's always been that way. You just,
I just voice them more now.
yeah. You
Or
just
there's
li-
more platforms to voice it on.
There's
yeah.
a lot more
Well,
platforms,
that's the
yeah.
thing is the masses have more ways to let their opinions be known.
Well, and there's no repercussions. Like, it's easier to record a TikTok video of why you believe that, people should steal things from a Target and then sit there and walk up to like 30 people and stand there and look at them in the face and tell them that. It's way
Yeah.
easier to sit there in your bathroom and record it in a mirror.
Yes, definitely. Also, one problem is yes, you're able to basically state any opinion you want with impunity, pretty much.
Yep.
And not saying that you should be punished for opinions, and that's not what I'm trying to say.
But throwing your cat, fuck that.
But I'm saying that if you wanted to put your opinion before a public forum, then the public forum that you submitted it to, and I'm not talking about like a forum online, I'm talking about like I'm talking about like, when I say that, I mean like the Roman Forum. Like people standing outside discussing their opinions with each other in large groups. When you do something like that, you get immediate feedback, and you can't ignore it. That's the thing about online feedback is you can just ignore it.
Yeah, you can just put your phone up.
Or if you read some feedback, it's so easy to look at that and go, oh, well, they believe something different than me, so I'm going to dehumanize them, and they're a completely different person. Like, because you're protected by a computer screen. If someone's right in front of you and you see them as a person, and if you're a normal human being and you look at another human being, you see them as a person with the same general emotions and feelings as you, even though you have differing opinions. So it's really easy to demonize someone through a screen than it is to demonize them in real life. Or maybe not demonize, but definitely dehumanize. But the other problem is that people don't think through their opinions enough. Because if you are submitting it to public scrutiny, you're more, and you know that there's going to be a lot of feedback, you want to sort of make sure your hypotheses are airtight, or as airtight as you can get them. And the third thing that I feel like is the problem, and that's the third thing is the one that I wanted to touch on the most, was people not forming their own opinions. And what I mean by that is people not, because I recognize that everyone's going to have their own opinion. And they might be slightly similar in some ways, and they might be drastically different in other ways from other people. And I'm okay with that. I'm perfectly okay with that. A couple summers ago, I went to a house party that I was invited to. And it was a very small affair. It was just this family that I knew through my sister and their family friends. And they were very welcoming. They were some of the most hospitable and open people I've ever met. Like I met these people at this party. I went with my sister and my brother-in-law to this party because they were like, we're going to this party. It's some good friends of ours. They have a son about your age, and he has friends, so there will be people that are about your age, because I was 18 at the time. And they said, hey, do you want to come and have a good time? And I did. And after about 3 hours, I knew that my sister and my brother-in-law were leaving. And after 3 hours, I said, hey, I really like it here. These people are really cool. And they're very welcoming, and I feel very comfortable here. I don't have work tomorrow, but you guys do. I asked their son, the family's son, I asked them if he could take me back home tomorrow morning if I stay the night, and he said he could. So can I stay the night? And they were perfectly fine with that. So within hours of meeting these people, I had already asked if I could stay the night, and they were like, yeah, sure, that's fine, whatever. Had a great time. I ended up going back to their house a couple times that summer. But me and the son, we sat out on the front porch later that night at like 3 a.m. And we had just discussion. We talked about stuff. And we talked about like religion, politics, heavy stuff. And we had very, very different opinions. Like in some ways we agreed on things, we found some common ground, but in a lot of ways we differed. But we were very, very civil about the whole thing. And he asked me, he said, it's been a really long time since I've been able to talk with someone about my opinions and them disagree with me and not get mad. And he asked me, why aren't you getting mad? Because that seems like the default now, is that you're talking to someone and you disagree, so you have to get mad, which isn't the case. But he asked me, why aren't you getting mad? And what I told him was this. I told him, you grew up in a different kind of family than me, because I grew up with both my parents being Caucasian. He grew up with his dad being African American and his mom being Caucasian. So he grew up in a mixed family. He grew up in a completely different situation because my dad is of one occupation and his dad is of another. We grew up in slightly different areas, not really. He grew up in rural Alabama and I grew up in rural Mississippi. It's not super different, but we grew up in very different situations. And I told him, well, we've grown up in very different situations and we've both experienced very different things. So it's, sort of, I would just assume that we would form different opinions. It's sort of obvious to me, We have different experiences. We come from different backgrounds. Our opinions are going to be different. If they were the same, that would be the weird thing, because we've come from just, not even vastly different, but still slightly different backgrounds. And we've formed our own opinions given that. And I don't have a problem with that. And that's why him and we were able to have that civil discussion at 3 a.m. on the front porch of his house in rural Alabama, which is a great time. And if people do that, if they form their opinions based on their life experience and their background, I'm perfectly fine with that. And if it's different than mine because of that, perfectly fine with that. But the problem is when you don't form your opinions from personal experience and when you form your opinions by what people tell you, specifically like not people firsthand, but sometimes that can happen. If your parents are the main influence on your opinion, and I know this doesn't happen a lot because a lot of times parents and children have vastly different opinions, especially on things like religion and politics and stuff like that, socioeconomics. Me and my dad have similar opinions, but very different. Like in some ways, they're very, very different. We hold similar values, but we disagree in some ways. But for the most part, we can agree on things.
See, my dad's not as much this way, but my mom is very like, if you disagree with me, you're just wrong in my book. Like if me and her disagree, she's just irritated. Like, how come I'm wrong?
See, that's what's ignorant.
Yeah. And I try to explain that because I've really come to learn in the last 4 years to try to listen to other people's opinions, even though they're wrong. Like, not even though they're wrong. That's
even though they're different than yours.
Even though they're stupid.
Even though they're different, there could be something I could learn from that. There could be a different aspect of that I can't see that's never affected me.
Yes. See?
And there's no way to know exactly what that person's been through that made them form that opinion, just like you're saying about personal experiences. Like, there's a lot of things that I didn't understand until I met this one girl in college. And we would go out to eat, and she was talking to me about, she's like a hardcore, feminist. And she would explain to me her opinions about it. And I didn't always agree with her, but it did open my eyes to, some things that were just not okay. I was like, oh, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, you probably shouldn't do that. But, there were some things that we just disagreed about, and we were just like, yeah, that's cool. Like, no, I don't think that should be like that. And she's like, yeah, but I think so. I'm like, oh, that's cool. That's your opinion. We just move on.
Yeah.
That was it.
See, the thing is, what's beautiful about discussion is when two people come together with differing opinions that are based on life experience, you can get a different point of view, like a slight glimpse of a different point of view from that person. And that's what discussion is for. Discussion is for two people with different opinions because of different points of view coming together, attempting to see things from that other person's point of view, and then walking away with your opinion slightly altered because you've been given a glimpse at a different viewpoint. That's what discussion is for, and that's why it's so important to form your opinions from personal experience. If someone comes to me and we have a discussion, one, if you get like super mad and upset and don't respect me, if you don't have respect during the discussion, I'm probably not going to learn anything from you.
Like, they don't pay attention to what you're saying. They're just waiting until they can argue back.
Yeah, and that's just the thing is in discussing something, my goal isn't to win. That's not what I want to do. I don't want to win the argument. I want you to see things a little bit better from my perspective, and I want to see things a little bit better from your perspective. But this is the big but. When your perspectives are not formed from your personal experience and are formed because, let's say, Fox News or CNN told you to, that's where the problem is. And it's not just Fox News or CNN. We can go back and we can say, if your opinions and your ideologies are really dangerous, by the way, are formed because the Communist Party told you to, then, because that was the whole thing.
There was this pamphlet I found, and it had some pretty good stuff on it.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing about ideology is it doesn't allow for expansive thinking. It takes everything and puts it into a little box. It takes the whole world and puts it into a little box and says, this is what's good. This is what conforms to our ideology. Everything outside of this box is bad and you need to kill it. And that's what it's dangerous. That's what's dangerous, is when you conform to an ideology and put your thinking in a box and don't allow yourself to literally think outside that box.
Well, yeah, because you're single-minded. Like...
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's what discussion is for you to take your limited view of the world, because everyone has such a limited and telescopic view of the world. It's like everyone in the world is looking at a field. Like, say we're looking at a forest. There's this whole forest and that's the world. Everyone is looking at this forest. But none of us are looking at the forest from a helicopter or a satellite. We're looking at this forest through a microscope. And we see just a select little sliver of the overall forest.
Yeah, it's tunnel vision.
Yes, and it's just natural. You can try to, but the only way to do that is to look at the person next to you and say, hey, what do you see through your microscope?
Right.
That's the only way. That's the only way to...
you get like 2 microscope views.
For real. Then you got fucking binoculars. Yeah. And so like you start building an image out of the pieces of the whole. And the only way
those
you get...
people are like staring in their microscope and they're like, no, you'll never take me out of my microscope. It's perfect in here. I love it. I love it.
For real though. But see, that's the thing, is you can't see the forest for the trees. But that's just all I wanted to say, was if you come at me and tell me I'm wrong, and we have a discussion about our opinions, that's perfectly fine. And I will be happy to discuss anything I, believe to be true, and from my personal experience, my very limited personal experience. When I haven't lived that long, we're all very young. We have a lot to learn.
I know, I get called old sometimes, but yeah.
Yeah, but still, like, but also people who have been here decades. Here, I say like here as in Earth. Uh-huh. People who have been alive decades more than us, they have a very different perspective. And just because they have more perspective, because they've lived here longer, doesn't mean it's necessarily better than our perspective.
You're wrong. You told me don't come at you and tell you you're wrong. You're wrong.
No, I said it was okay if you did. You didn't listen to me.
It's okay. I was too busy focusing on my bit.
I was too busy looking through my telescope.
Aaron got too caught up in his telescope.
Yep.
But yeah, like, just don't. If somebody, and see, the thing is, that's what's so crucial And that's what people are trying to do. That's what these big agendas, that's the word, is agendas, are trying to do, is constrict and control the flow of information that you get. You know, they're trying to control all of the information that you get so that you see everything from their side, because they're only showing you what they want you to see. So when you learn some information, you should say, that's interesting, and that may change my opinion, but let me get the whole story, or let me see if it's true, or let me see if there's been a spin put on this, because there's always, news outlets especially, but still like people like us, podcasters, and that's the thing, is a lot of times people who have political podcasts or even non-political podcasts, because we don't have a political podcast really, but we're talking about, I don't think we're talking about actual politics right now, but we're talking about how people talk about politics.
Yeah, and that's an issue that I have. That's like the biggest issue I have with mainly how it's going right now. Yeah.
Yeah, because like if somebody has a different political, religious, socioeconomic viewpoint than me, I don't, that's not the issue. I don't take issue with you because you have a different stance than me in any given topic. I have issue when you aren't willing to discuss it in a civilized way.
Well, the issue that I have is whenever somebody states their opinion and they admit that it is their opinion through like their actual life experience and whatnot, and then somebody else comes by and then they feel the need to make that person's specific opinion political. Like, that's the issue I have. Like, why does that happen? Why does it go from a discussion being a discussion to a political discussion? Like, there's no need for that. It irritates me.
You know how we were talking about before the podcast? We were talking about how, like, people who hate and people who like we were talking about the Achievement Hunter stuff and how everybody hated Fiona, so they were like very vocal about it. Like the people who hated Fiona were very vocal, and the people who didn't hate Fiona weren't as vocal. I think the same thing goes with like both sides of extremes right now.
Yes,
like going on in today's society. That I don't think that every person is on either side.
Right.
I don't think either one. I think it's like maybe 10% to 10%.
Yeah.
And then there's like an 80. I wouldn't say 10%. I would say like 20 to 20.
Yeah.
There's like, and then there's like a people stuck in the middle, like the 60% of people who are just, they don't know what to do.
Yeah.
Like they're just there.
See,
and they don't agree with either side, and they're just like, what do I do? But then they don't think there's that many people on their side.
That's the definition
because of what the news and everybody's putting
vocal
out.
minority.
Yeah, that's the definition of it. And
yeah, the people who are on
that's
extreme sides, extreme sides of any issue, are always going. The extremists are always going to be the loudest, and the people who sort of have mixed views about a thing.
Call me an extremist. Because my volume's all the way up.
Or they're like moderate, they're probably not. They can believe just as firmly in what they believe in and in their views, but because they're sort of middle of the road, or maybe lean one. Because I don't know if you guys have ever taken. I'm gonna sort of out myself, but I don't know if you guys have ever taken like a political aptitude test.
I had to.
Did people? Oh yeah, some people had to do that in school.
Yeah.
Like in
I thought about
economics or like socioeconomics.
Yeah. Well, I was just like for hhigh school, like just in general, we all did. And then they were like,
really?
don't tell
crazy.
anybody what you got. And then as soon as we left, we're like, yeah, no, I got this. Like we didn't care.
Yeah, well, that's like the ACT or the SAT. They're like, keep your scores a secret. Only tell your schools. And you like get out of the room and you're like, yo, what'd you make?
What'd you get?
I've never taken one, but I should.
Yeah, you should, because
I kind of know where I stand.
I'm gonna out myself here. I've taken one.
Yeah.
A couple of times. I've taken a couple different ones, and I landed pretty much where I expected to. I landed libertarian, slightly right leaning.
Right.
So
That's
libertarian
where I figure I would
mainly.
land to.
Yeah, libertarian, but leaning a little more to the right than to the left.
Yeah, because I don't agree with like I wouldn't call myself a Republican
that's not a very vocal
or a
group.
Democrat.
Yeah, me neither. Like I would say I'm a moderate libertarian. That's what I would identify myself politically as. But no one, moderate libertarians, aren't, rising up in the streets. Like we're not.
No.
Libertarians in general aren't, the super vocal people. And when people hear libertarians actually talk about their opinions, they're like, oh, you're a Republican. You're a alt-right. It's like, no, not at all.
Yeah.
Not at all, actually.
I carry guns. Hey, never mind. I'm not going to keep going.
The classic smear, the classic libertarian thing, because there's a lot of jokes against libertarians, as there is in like any sort of political forum, is that all libertarians, the joke is that all libertarians believe that a biracial gay couple should be able to live on their pot farm and defend it with machine guns. And yeah, totally. Do it. Go for it.
So, to change conversation for a second, I just got a text from my girlfriend's brother that said, "Hey, are you up?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he was like, first of all, why would I not be up? It's only 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
You did say that you have to be up.
But he was like, "Hey, are you up?" I was like, "Yeah,
so.
I am." And he was like, that doesn't mean anything. I was up till 12 last night and had to be up at 6.
Yeah. This is true.
But he goes, don't tell her, don't say anything or ask her why, or don't tell her why or who said anything to you. Just text her and ask her if she's mad at you or why she's mad at you. And then as I'm reading this text message, she's texting me and it goes, "Don't listen to him." And so I just texted her. I was like, "But why are you mad at me?" Because now I'm just so confused what's going on.
I feel like she was venting something to him about you that was taken out of context.
They're sitting next to each other.
Yeah.
No.
And
She doesn't know. AJ's just
she-
trying to make her paranoid.
She
Because
bitched about you.
Wait, I'm doing what?
Oh, sorry, that's his name.
Oh, okay.
That's he's just trying to make her paranoid because she said, "I'm not." What did he say? That's funny.
That is really funny.
She spilled a dark secret. He said, "I'ma tell Aaron."
I'm gonna tell him.
I told her, I said, he just said you were really pissed. I'm just gonna ag it on.
Yeah, I mean, what?
Ag it on?
Is that not what the term is? Are you about to tell me I've been
Egg-
saying something wrong my whole life?
Ag it
Egg
on.
it on.
What'd I say?
Ag.
Ag.
Like the end of a shoe.
What did you say?
Egg.
Egg it on. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness, what?
He's realized he's been wrong his entire life.
Yep.
Okay.
No, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Also, my internet's just screwing up, so I'm
Okay.
gonna stop streaming.
Okay. So,
Tell us about your porn.
yeah. So I need to do that, but first, before I do that,
Oh yeah, Ishizoku reviewers.
You gotta go subscribe to AJ's OnlyFans, guys.
No,
Check it out.
Dude.
no,
It's great.
I don't have one of those. But that would be a really good excuse as to why I wouldn't have a face cam.
Ethan, that's what I'm getting you for your birthday. That's what I'm getting you for your birthday is is an OnlyFans subscription to me.
Ah, I see.
Not you. That's what I'm getting Ethan.
Come on, man.
Because Ethan wants to see my penis. Really bad.
Okay. So first I need to talk about how stupid I am about this other thing that happened at the same time that I mentioned Ethan with the dog. I was dumb 3 times in this situation.
Oh yeah.
So out of in the span of 5 minutes, it was just rapid stupidity. So first thing is, and Aaron, you talked to Ethan about this. I have a really good and a really nice expensive microphone that if you can't tell, I'm still not using because I bought it.
Idiot.
It's like
Let's preface expensive.
Yeah.
Because expensive is relative.
that's true.
It's an AT 2035.
Yeah. So it's
It's a good mic.
Yes.
But like
It's
when you
good.
say when you say expensive microphone, I think like a $3,700 microphone.
Right. Yeah. It's not like that. So, and then I realized, oh, this has to come with an interface. I didn't buy one of those.
Yep,
So
you
I
gotta
put
have a preamp.
I put it back in its box, and it's been like that for a year.
A whole year, he's just had a
just-
good microphone,
Yep, and
just chilling.
Just in a box, nice and weighty. Has a nice its own stand for it to go on. Nah, it stays in a box. So the plug that it goes to, see, I don't know microphones or audio for that matter, the way that Ethan knows audio, or that any sensible person who's dealing with audio should know audio. I don't. I'll be
Which
honest.
is why you
Also,
should have
can
asked
I
me.
throw this out there really quick? Ethan formed a lot of his opinions about audios by watching YouTube videos, not by personal experience. So honestly, does he really know about audio?
He knew a lot more beforehand. He knew a lot more than me beforehand.
I know. I'm just messing with Ethan.
So
He
what's
has his
funny
arms
is-
crossed right now, really
Well,
frustrated.
no, what's happening is Aaron's internet is taking a shit, and I didn't actually hear what he said.
No, my internet's screwing up bad, and I don't know why.
Is it bad on your end as well, Ethan?
Yeah.
Well, I want to ask
Yeah.
Ethan for his life experience. Okay.
He said it
I-
was. He just lagged.
I'm turning off my Xbox.
Oh, wow.
And my phone
Okay.
to
So
make sure nothing's sucking up the interwebs.
because
I
I
did
don't
this last night around the same time, Ethan.
because I don't know things that well, I tried plugging the thing that you're supposed to plug this to the interface into the microphone.
He took the male end of the XLR cable.
Oops.
Or no, he took the female end.
Yeah.
He took the female end and he tried to shove it into the female end of his microphone.
I mean, hey, if they wanted to be gay, they could have. It should have been compatible.
You tried to make your microphone and your cable fucking bump donuts.
Yeah. And then it didn't work. It didn't work to the point of
Send me. I will put the picture up.
yeah. Let me actually take a picture so that way you can send it to
Yeah.
to the.
you need to take
this.
you need to take a picture of what you fucking did to your 3-pin XLR cable, so that the world can see.
Let's just say I don't know my own strengths, and I honestly thought this was supposed to be doable. Like, because it was so easy to me that I was like, oh, it's supposed to be able to do that. Like, when I first did it, I was like, oh, it's supposed to look that way. But
No.
it's not. It's not at all.
No.
It's yeah. So if my phone would like to focus, thank you.
If you've ever seen anyone who's ever seen a 3-pin XLR cable, you know how the female end looks, right? So it's got the housing, that the male end goes into, and you see the 3 pins. You can see the 3 pins inside of the little housing, the shroud. Yeah, the pins on his cable are fully exposed. They're all the way out.
They
He just
wanted to
fucking
show after
ripped
their
them out
little
of the-
experience with
ripped
the
them out of the
female
housing.
So
You transgendered your cable.
yeah. So it didn't work, but I do plan on getting an interface. So that was stupid number 1. Stupid number 2 was after I had picked up said cable that is now destroyed, and I picked it up. I talked about it. I took several pictures to Ethan for him to look at it, and then I went to go set it back down. And as I went to go set it back down, I realized that there was something under, that was originally underneath the cable. So I put it back on top of it, and I was like, "Oh wait, is that what I think it is?" And sure enough, it was exactly what I thought it was, which was an Xbox One controller. Now the thing about this Xbox One controller is the fact that, oh geez, how long ago was this? 3 weeks, maybe a month ago.
It's got an audio interface, right?
6.
Yeah,
What?
yeah.
No.
It was
When?
it was 3 weeks or a month ago that I had gotten that I had.
Oh, when you were when you're. Yeah.
When I was complaining, yeah, it was 3 weeks or a month ago when I was complaining about this Xbox One controller for having its right trigger decide that it didn't want to function anymore. And it started to, the analog sticks decided that they wanted to drag now. So I had that to deal with. So I was complaining about that to the point where I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and I'm buy a new Xbox One controller. Well, turns out that past AJ, so far in the past, like back in December, past AJ decided, you know, this Xbox One controller that I have that is having issues with its right trigger and is having analog drag in December isn't working. I think I need to go buy a new one before I go on the trip.
Did you buy a new controller and forget?
So
Yep.
I went and I bought a controller for the trip in Mississippi. And then when I came back from the trip,
Like 7 months ago.
yeah,
How do you
Like,
forget you bought like a $60 controller?
it was 40. But when I
You didn't buy a good one then.
no, it is actually pretty nice. It has its own little design to it and everything. I don't know how I got
$20 with a cost of his fucking memory.
There's a door, and it opens, it closes, it opens.
Centroid of the mechanism. I want to say Larry.
But so then I came back from the trip in Mississippi, and I set the controller on this very desk, and then I played PC games. I played PC games for about a month, and then I stopped playing PC games, and I went right back to this white Xbox One controller, and I realized
That's wild.
I don't like this controller. So I bought one
Why didn't
online.
you just get rid of the broken one?
You know, had past AJ thought about that before he went on the trip, I wouldn't be having this discussion right now.
Past
So, like-
AJ thought about even having some sense at all. There, you wouldn't have lost an Xbox controller. Like,
Well, like, but the fact that he cast the new one that he bought that worked, he cast into the depths of Tartarus to be lost by time, and
Yeah.
his broken one he just left there, like, I'm assuming just on your desk.
Well, that's the thing, because whenever like me personally, whenever I get back from a trip, I don't like unpack anything unless I need to. So like all of like the dirty laundry, I immediately unpack and I put that into like the wash or whatever, and I get that cleaned up. Afterwards, that's like a gray area. Like it's a gray area for whatever I grab.
Yeah, your controller lived in purgatory for
Pretty
a
much.
year,
That's
for like
insane.
half a year.
Yeah. Yeah.
there's a time in my life where my controller broke and I couldn't play anything but Smite because for some reason, like, the controller, like, when you click it in, it doesn't have it take as long to activate in Smite, but there was a little part stuck on the back of the controller. So, like, I couldn't play Call of Duty or anything because the guns wouldn't shoot because it didn't pull the trigger far enough back. But in Smite was the only game that let me actually pull the trigger. So I just played a ton of Smite.
I bet you didn't.
Well,
have
Tavish
it.
got so fed up with me playing Smite, he bought and sent me a controller.
Why didn't you just fix your controller?
Because I didn't have any, I didn't have like a star,
Torque spit?
yeah, I didn't have one of those. And it's when I didn't like hang out with you that much, so I would have just went over to your house and done it, if so.
Yeah, because I have like 80 million torque spits from all the Xbox controllers that I've taken apart.
Yeah. So like, there was another reason too. I can't remember what it was. I don't think I played Xbox a ton. Was that when I broke my back? No, it wasn't when I broke
it
my
was
back.
before.
Was
It was before.
it? Okay.
Because when you broke it, you
Just-
started playing Destiny a lot.
Yeah, you're right. Mm-hmm. Well, that's because that's when Destiny 2 released.
Dude, it was. Bro.
That's because I waited up to 12 o'clock at night because I had to take medicine every 4 hours.
Yeah.
And so I timed my medicine that day where I would be up to download the update at 12 in the morning.
Bro. Dude. I didn't realize.
That was when, because when Destiny 2 released, that was when I had just started my freshman year of college.
Yeah, that's probably why I didn't hang out with you as much.
That's why you didn't come and see me with all of my controller tools.
Yeah.
Because I was in
Also,
college.
Did I come see you before
Ever?
I broke my back? I don't think I did.
No, I don't think you ever came to see me
I think me breaking my back broke my back and healed our friendship.
Yeah.
I had friends that I used to know, like, see every, like, 3 or 4 times a week. I would see them and talk to them that didn't text me for months after I broke my back. Literally didn't talk to me, didn't check on me, didn't do anything for like a month or 2 after I broke my back. But like Tiffany and Ethan and Tay and Skin and all of them instantly, like the day I broke my back, like texted me and checked on me. And Tay and Tiffany, I think both checked on me like multiple times. And like, that's what made me start talking to Tay more, because I just thought it was very nice, because me and him never had like an awesome relationship. Like, just like, it wasn't bad. We just never were really good friends. But he was one of the people that texted me and checked on me the most during my back break.
Do you remember the first thing I said to you after you broke your back?
No, I have no clue.
Okay. I texted you, I said, hey, asshole, are you dead?
That sounds like something you would say. I also...
Which is funny because that's an RVB quote.
I might have cried about that. I don't know. I was very emotional during that time. Obviously, I was on a lot of medication.
I felt bad about that. Like, I was on the fence about sending that message because I was like, he did just have a very serious injury. But the reason I did is because Wyatt had texted you already, and he said, yeah, he's okay, he's fine. So I already knew that you were fine, but I still wanted to text you.
I don't remember at all. But
what's funny is I didn't feel as bad about it because when you told me what Tavish said to you after you broke your back,
I don't
felt
remember
less
what
bad.
he said either. What did he say?
You told, because I remember when I texted you hey asshole, are you dead? You were like, yeah. Well, you're like, no, I'm okay, I'm alive. And I was like, and then I think I immediately backpedaled and was like, I'm sorry, I already knew you were okay, and that's why I said, the dickish statement that I sent to you. And you went, that's okay. Tavish sent me something worse, and I was like, oh Jesus, what did Tavish send you? And I think Tavish first sent you, like, he asked if you were okay, and he asked like what happened. And then I think you explained what happened, and then he said, you probably deserved it.
That's right.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah. So I felt way better about myself. I was like, oh, well, Tavish said that. That's
Did
way
I ever
worse.
tell you what my youth pastor did? I don't think I ever have. So
You may have.
I say youth pastor. It was my Sunday school teacher. But anyway, that day we had a Sunday school like trip. Like we were all going. We were gonna go to a escape room in Louisiana. And so I was pumped. I'd never been to escape room. Like, I had an outfit all picked out. It's in the back. It was ready. This was Fat Aaron, so I had to have a lot of confidence, So I was ready to go. It's gonna be awesome. And then I broke my back, so that wasn't awesome. So I texted him and I was like, "Hey, I won't make it to the activity today. I'm in a hospital."
You told me about this.
And he was like, "What? No." I was like, No, like seriously, I'm in a hospital. I just flipped my car 3 times." And he was like, "Send me a picture. I don't believe you." And so with IVs in my arm, blood running down my head, and like morphine coursing through my body, I took a selfie and sent it to him, and he was like, "I'll be right there." Like, and instantly I drove. It was just, he didn't believe me at all. just thought I was messing around. And what's funny is AJ, which is actually my girlfriend's brother, was actually there because he's on the fire department. Oh, and my dad was the only person he had his number. He was the only person whose number he had. So he called him and was like, "Hey, this is really weird, but Aaron just had an accident. Can you go to the hospital and be there before anybody gets there?" Because nobody was going to be at the hospital. It's just going to be me by myself. So AJ got there, and AJ was like in the picture, and he was just like, he like had his arms up, like just confused, and just like, why would you ask for a picture? So like he's in the background and I'm there like bloodied and just as confused as AJ, just sitting next to the guy like, why did you want a picture? But
Interesting.
yeah, and then my the youth pastor of my church actually was there too, because I was going to the gym with him that morning, and he was there, and he was sitting there with me, and a guy came in, and he was like, "Oh, are you the cleaning crew?" Like, to the guy, and the guy was like, "I'm the head nurse," and was like very angry. unbeknownst to him, that was the guy that was going to scrub the dirt out of my arm. So this man angrily now scrubbed the dirt out of my
He was
cutting and
angry
bleeding.
because he was the cleaning crew.
Yeah, he was.
But
He was not a happy person. Fun fact, waited on that guy at the bank about 2 months ago. And I was like, yo, you scrubbed my arm in a hospital one day. He was like, really? I was like, yeah, I broke my spine in 3 places and you scrubbed the dirt out of my arm.
nice.
And he was like, wild. Are you okay? As I'm standing in front of him, I was like, nope.
No, I'm in a wheelchair.
I died.
Paraplegic, actually.
Yeah. I
Aaron,
lost
My
my arm.
pastor would make fun of me then.
Aaron,
What?
do you want me to say something that's going to make you really self-conscious?
Oh shit, what?
I may have like started counting how many times you said like during your story.
Oh boy.
Oh, that's fair. I say like a lot.
Yeah,
I know, it's a problem.
because the thing is, and listening back to the podcast, I noticed that I do it a lot.
Yeah.
And I noticed
we all
that-
do. We
that
feed
you-
off each other.
But yeah.
Yeah. And I remember mentioning it to you one day.
I mean,
and we talked
yeah.
about how we wanted to not say like as our buffer word, because and now that we've said it on the podcast, we're gonna, like, everyone who listens to us is gonna hate us, because now I can't listen to the podcast. I can't listen to us talk without
Rap.
just every single
Dang it,
time.
dude.
Every single time one of us says like bam, 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 bam. Especially when
You
we
just
get
did
going,
it.
rapid fire. Yeah,
like
I did.
the I mean situation that we had.
That's my favorite
I mean-
clip. That's my favorite clip for the history of Wight Noise.
that was really funny.
Can you set that up as a TikTok?
I can.
Okay,
Yeah, I can.
because that would
I
be
think.
an actual, like, enjoyable TikTok to actually watch for myself. I would enjoy that.
I think it's better
But,
than saying like or
Definitely.
I think it's definitely
But
better.
I got shit in high school because I consciously changed the way that I spoke
Yeah,
for a good reason.
I did that too.
because
throughout high
what
school.
what I did is I stopped using the word to, TOO,
Oh yeah.
instead, and I started using as well. Mm-hmm. Because to is like to, TO, and then TOO is also as in like in excess, like you have too much. And then of course there's the number 2. I was like, you know what? There's too many 2s. So I'm going to cut one out and start using as well instead of to. Like, I like that too. I'm not going to say that anymore. I'm going to say I like that as well. And Tiffany gave me so much shit. Every single time I would say as well, she would chortle and go, as well.
I started
Every
to-
single time.
I did that with of, because whenever you talk, you notice that you use of as a spacer without even thinking that you're using of as a spacer. Of is like the weirdest spacer ever. Like because we did there was a counselor that I
What?
had in elementary. Yeah, there's a counselor that I had in elementary school, and we had to read these like full-on paragraphs or whatever, and they're like, just go ahead and read it in your head, and then whenever you notice a mistake, just cross it out. Nobody crossed out of. Not a single person crossed out a single of, except for like 1 or 2. And that was it. And when I realized that, I was like, oh, that's like a legitimate, okay, that's a thing that I say a lot. Like, I will just use of for anything. So I started getting rid of, but of as a legitimate word is needed for everything, like for a lot. So I would just not say of, and there would be a space. Like I would just not use of where it should be used, and I would get some really weird looks in scenarios like that. So it'd be like, just for whatever sentence, I would just have of in there, but I wouldn't say it, and it'd just be quiet. And then people would look at me and be like, what are you doing? Like, what? You missed something. Like. I had that same
I feel
exact sort
you.
of situation.
The thing is, we use like instead of said. That's the one thing that I've tried to rectify, because we tell a lot of stories on this podcast, because that's the fun part, is telling funny stories. Anytime we're quoting either ourselves or someone else, we say, and then he was like, and then there's the quote.
Yeah.
We do that a lot. So I've been consciously trying to say, and then he said, Or then she said, and then I said,
I
and
noticed
then
that
I
people say
reacted or I
goes.
responded.
People say goes for things like that instead of saying like.
Yeah, that's also, yeah, he goes.
Yeah.
We also use it instead of maybe or perhaps.
Well,
Sometimes. But, like,
maybe,
Should have done that instead of
maybe, or perhaps, we're coming to an end of the podcast.
This. Yeah. Yeah, we probably should. I need to get water and whatnot, and then I'm gonna go to sleep as well.
Yeah,
So
because I know you have to work tomorrow, and I have to work tomorrow.
yeah,
Oh, yeah, I'm the only one that doesn't have to work tomorrow.
man.
But I'm still very tired because I've been up since like
Luckily,
5:45.
do you have to work 4th of July? Anybody?
No, I do not.
Nope.
No, but I gotta go hiking, dude. It's gonna be so hot because
Dude.
I can't go in the morning because I have to do stuff at my church in the morning. So we're probably gonna go midday, and I really don't want to go midday.
Dude, imagine having to hike during 4th of July. Ugh.
It's how
whack.
hot is it supposed to be? Let me look at the weather real quick, and then
I like how
let me
I
see
was
what
gonna
it's-
check. Like it wouldn't matter.
I'm
Where I live.
4th of July. I'm going to be staying with a friend of mine that I haven't seen since quarantine.
Is it a woman?
No, well, yeah, it's a man and
How-
a woman.
I was about to say, how is that a confusing question?
Well, it's two of my friends. I have two friends. They are a couple, and they got married during quarantine, and I have not seen them since they've been married.
No, it's supposed to rain all day. I guess I'm not going hiking.
You should screenshot that and be like,
80%
so.
chance.
So.
80% chance of thunderstorms that day.
Oh man, it's supposed to be 100 degrees.
Why does it always rain profusely on 4th of July?
I don't know, but Ethan,
shoot.
you can attest to how humid it is today.
So
In Mississippi.
because it was about. See, I almost said like, but I used about.
Mm-hmm.
It was about
Nice save.
100 degrees today in the heat index.
Yeah.
if I recall correctly.
It's just suffocating.
Blazing
Like I
sun.
walk
Well,
outside
it
and
was-
I'm just like,
It was blazing sun, hot as balls. Step outside for 5 seconds and all of your vitality is drained from you. And then it rained. And so it was just,
it didn't rain
it
here.
was just, oh no, in Colombia, it rained profusely. So it went from being really hot to being a goddamn sauna because it was just super hot with all of that moisture in the air because it started raining.
oh yeah, my work too right now is the air's broken, but it only affects like me and Keith. So
Keith, no.
that we really don't care. Like nobody really cares. But what it is the sensor for that side of the office is broken on the air.
But
So like it can't sense that it's hot over there.
you got Aaron. You got to tell me. Is Keith okay?
Keith is okay.
Okay.
I don't understand what you're on about.
Keith.
What? Ethan, do you know?
No, I just like your reaction of, what?
I don't know what he's talking about. I don't know what he's on about.
I just want
I'm
to make sure
confused
that
too.
my favorite drown boy is doing okay.
Oh,
Ow, my fucking ears.
my boy Keith. Have fun editing that.
Ow, Jesus.
Yeah, Keith. You know Keith. Come on.
Hey,
Come on.
Ethan, you can't hear me right now, or you can't hear me on
Why is Aaron muted?
the thing right
That's a
now.
good
So I'm giving
question.
you a little message.
I think he
Alright,
This is
pounded
gonna
on
be
his
cute for you to
desk.
edit.
Please don't be coming downstairs.
Oh,
I'm looking
yeah.
at the door.
I
Because
love you
last time
so
he muted himself,
freaking
he
much.
came downstairs.
That doesn't help. It's
All right, what? I'm here.
okay.
Why
Anyways.
did you mute yourself?
I had to move some stuff.
Oh, I didn't get to talk about the thing, but that's fine.
No, dude, Keith's the MVP.
Yeah. Yeah.
We need another Keith in that new Minecraft.
We do.
We need to get another Keith.
We do.
We have a lake.
It can't be a child though, because apparently Ethan kills those.
Ethan's also a pedophile.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's how he gets rid of his evidence.
No.
You know, only in the rain though. He's only a pedophile when it rains. It rained in Colombia today. Guys, if I get my booty hole fondled, I'm not gonna be happy about it.
You're a full grown man.
Yeah, but I'm short.
I want to fuck you for different reasons.
Oh, All right. Does that conclude our podcast?
That does. I missed the topic, but that's okay.
It's okay. I did too.
Yeah.
I missed the whole
I missed
milk
too.
TikToks.
I didn't get to talk about interspecies reviewers and Funimation, and I didn't get to talk about how big titty goth girls have the real privilege.
That's next episode. I think that's important. At least that last one's very important.
That last one I can bring up. It can transition to my topic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
So next episode, catch us for some big titty goth girls.
And interspecies reviewers.
No.
Let's not create new topics so that we forget about these, just like I forgot about my controller. Okay? Can we
We have too many topics channels.
can we do that?
All right. Yeah, sure.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
See y'all whenever we record again. This was the Wight Noise podcast.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.